welcome to a brand new weekend of racing here. I am your host, Jose Contreras for LosAlamitos.com, alongside Christopher Wade. Chris, welcome back to the program. And for the viewers that missed Chris during the nighttime signal, as he was off feeling under the weather last week, Chris, welcome back to the program, and good to see you and doing much better.
Yeah, feeling much better. It was the first time I ever taken off the TV. Did my selections. All the numbers were there. I had a pretty good night, in fact, on both weekends, but both nights in the weekend. But with none of the weather for the first time ever, and we're back and ready to rumble.
That's right, and we're back for a big weekend. Get ready to have to maneuver through wiener dogs on Saturday night. You're going to be walking down the stairs. Wiener dogs are going to be licking you, trying to kiss you, all this stuff. So get ready to go through the masses, Chris. It's Saturday, and as it is Wiener Nationals night at Los Al.
Yeah, the place will be packed, and the dogs will be running. And don't forget the chili dogs up in the upper grandstand section. Very, very good on Wiener Dog Night.
Yes, yeah. And speaking of Wiener National Nights, Professor G sent us the cover story, Chris. And let me see if I can share it here with the viewing public. And here's the cover story. The Wiener Dogs return for the 26th annual Wiener Nationals. You can see 2022 champion Paisley is back. It's going to be at the 26th running. Looking forward to it. Total cash prices over $2,300 will be awarded throughout the night. And of course, the Wiener Nationals Doghouse and the championship trophy. And it's going to be benefiting of, as usual, the Seal Beach Animal Care Center. So looking forward to the Wiener Nationals back at Los Al, Chris.
Yeah, this will be a great night of racing. The place will be packed, and it's a fun night for all.
It really is. So get ready. Come out and enjoy the races at Los Alamitos this Saturday night, and also Wiener Nationals heats throughout the night in between the horse races. All right, let's go and take a look at your selection. And Chris, I just noticed that both you and Mike Wrona are squaring off in the same race once again as a few shows ago. And I know you're going to a bit of a better price on the outside with Better One.
Yeah, I'm going to give Better One a look. He was an early season 2-year-old, ran the 220-yard races. And on my numbers, on my charts, he was a B worker. And then he improved from that first B drill to an A- second drill. And he did draw the outside post going 220 yards, but he got fractures. He broke slow and outward, lost multiple lengths, but was slow in the stride. Was starting out very strongly for a very good third versus a couple of perfect trip winners, then 1-2. But this horse is a long strider. And don't forget, early season 2-year-old, been away for 84 days, and with expected improvement, drawn well, gets more yards. I'm going to give him a look here to upset the apple cart a little bit there at, I think, 4 or 5 to 1 in the morning line. I'm going to give him a chance there.
All right, let's go to the replay on Better One on his debut. He was on the outside in a field of 5. And again, they were only going 220, Chris. He didn't break all that well, but I thought he finished with a good amount of interest.
Yeah, he gets a little fractious inside the gate. He breaks slow and outward away from the gate. So he's moving there, and then he leaned out, back bobbled, and drifted out steadily. Lost a couple of lengths away from the gate, but slow in his stride, but under a hand shove throughout. But watch this horse level out near the wire. Was starting out very, very strongly versus 2 perfect tripped exact runners, and galloped out very, very well. That was the early season 2-year-old 84 nights ago when they were going 220 yards, but I had a good workout pattern prior. And we'll enjoy the added yardage with the race experience. I expect him to improve immensely and have a look at a nice price there. I think 4 to 1 on the morning line versus a couple of well-meant runners to the inside with Abletico Open MRL coming out of a pretty good trial. And, of course, No Can Tell was a pretty good second last time and has looked there as well for Scott the Doctor. But get a slight look to Better One to improve enough to be a big factor in this 8th event.
And for people that have been watching Los Alamitos regularly, No Can Tell has been a horse that both you and I have been zigzagging on him. I bet him 2 starts ago. I didn't bet him last time out. He almost got the win. He can finish, Chris, without a doubt. But it's about the breaks with him. He doesn't break all that well. He gets rolling a little bit too late.
Yeah, this horse, he broke a little slow and skied out last time. Was finishing steady. Galloped out very, very well. So probably enjoy more yardage, but at this short price, we're going to go against him a little bit. He's going to be a factor. He's going to be a runner in this event, but a slight look to the outside runner, Better One, to improve enough to be a big factor at a nice price there in that 8th and final.
I like it. I like your opinion in this race because I am also trying to beat the morning line favorite. I think Apolitical Open MRL is a vulnerable favorite in my opinion. I'm going to try to beat him. And I do like your selection as well. Better ones on the outside post.
Yeah, I'm going to get him right there, drawn nice to the outside. So let's try to get him and get one on Mike for a change. Let's just flip and get one on Mike. He's been beating us both up as of late.
You know who No Cantel reminds me of? It reminds me of the best from it was it last week? Who ends up finishing with a good amount of relay run. I think that's the attractive part about him. There in gate number 6. So I know your phone is ringing off the hook. People want selections. So we're trying to get some more winners for the VM Public there. I'm glad that you'll be back in action this Saturday night at Los Alamitos, and of course for all the simulcast analysis as well. All right, Chris. So best of luck with better one. Let's see if you can get a clean start from that outside post.
Let's hope so. Let's get a clean start and get her done, as my grandpa used to say.
Yeah, all right. Save that voice, Chris. I'll see you this weekend at Los Al.
All right, bye. You have a good night.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
This is going to be her second time competing at Wiener Nationals, so we're really excited. Better known as the Tony Hawk of Dachshunds, because off the track she's usually skateboarding out in the streets of LA, even up into San Francisco. So she's a great girl. She's probably the most famous skater girl in the world, and we're out here competing for a chance at the win.
Woo!
Yeah, Rowdy loves to go fast, and she loves everybody kind of following with her. So Hopefully this year she'll take the win. I'm hopefully coming out today just to kind of see the track. Hopefully she'll kind of get inspiration from the horses out here to just keep going all the way to the finish. There's some big wieners out here, so we got our competition cut out for us.
So this is Oakley. He's about 9 months old. We heard about the race. I think I just looked it up and looked up wiener dog races, and it popped up. And I was like, oh, it's free to enter. Might as well try and see what he does. And I actually built a box for him at work to practice at home, and then coming here he did pretty good. He got a little distracted by other dogs, but we're hoping that he has a little bit more practice and can learn to just come right to me. I think the hardest thing to teach him, probably just getting him comfortable with the box, because he was just freaking out and trying to jump out. But once we gave him some treats, he was like, oh, it's all right. Now he doesn't have to spend a minute in there, it's just 5 seconds, so he got over it pretty quickly. There's a lot of fast competitors out here. I'm not sure, but I think he'll definitely be on the podium. I mean, I'm not sure about winning, but you can always hope.
She's improved a ton. I mean, last year, the first practice race that we did, she was a little unsure, but she's back and she's ready. She got third in her heat last year. She's on the smaller side, so she doesn't really have a lot of power, but she's got the spirit, and that's all that matters. Martha Moo is obsessed with me, so I have him lead her over to the box, and then she just looks right at me. I had treats and toys last year, but all she cares about is her mom, so... Yeah, we didn't do any training in between. I was a little unsure about how she would feel coming back out here, but she picked it up immediately as soon as she saw everyone else in the box, so she's ready to go.
It was exciting. We didn't train with Paisley last year, and then all of a sudden she just won her first leg, and then she won the championship, so that was a surprise. But we replay videos and she hears the noises and the excitement of the whole last year's phenomenon, and so then this year we decided to try again and let's see how she goes. She loves her mom, and I have treats and toys and stuff, but it's mainly me. I'm her motivation. I think as soon as we pulled up here, she remembered and she was like, let's go, Mom, let's do this. Huh, puppy?
Wiener dog racing fans, the Wienerschnitzel Wiener Nationals are back at Los Alamitos Racecourse Saturday night, July 15th. It'll be a showcase of the fastest dachshunds in the world. They love to run, and they love to make new friends and have fun. Who will be the fastest winner in the West? We can't wait to find out. Join us for this great night of family fun. Admission for kids 17 and under is free. The Wienerschnitzel Wiener Nationals at Los Alamitos Racecourse, Saturday night, July 15th.
Well, Michael, we're going to put you right back to work. Just after the double hitters, you're going to have quite a card to call this Saturday night.
Mate, this could be a bigger undertaking than 3 weeks of double duty. There's more than 100 of these dogs entered on Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun, plenty of laughs, I'm sure. And no doubt we'll have a huge crowd to cheer them on. From a broadcasting standpoint, not necessarily as much fun as what the participants and the fans will experience. For one thing, I've noticed that there's a Mr. Weenie entered in trial 3 and a Mr. Weenie in trial 4. So what happens if both Mr. Weenies qualify for the final? That's not to be confused with Beanie Von Weenie, who goes in trial number 2, a race I'm really looking forward to as Beanie Von Weenie takes on Gizmo the Gremlin. So, mate, might have to incorporate the owners' last names if there's a double up in the pictures' names come the big final.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you to Professor G for that Wiener Nationals report, footage and interviews from one of the mornings they got out to Los Alamitos to practice. So a lot of the Dachshunds got to meet each other and kind of, some of the owners said a few of them got distracted. But, champion of 2022, Paisley is back. Rowdy will be one of the main favorites in that field, in those fields again. So it should be a fun night. I do have, here it is. It is the Wiener Dog Star return. Of course, we talked Paisley. We saw Rowdy in there. 10 trials, 26 running, and the total cash prices, Michael, $2,300 in total cash prices, and of course, in addition to a championship trophy and the Wienerschnitzel Doghouse, which is always a fun sight to see. And championship action will be throughout the night. The championship were approximately 9:10 p.m. right before the 8th horse race of the night. So all the event benefits, as usual, the Seal Beach Animal Care Center, and lots of fun for the entire family this Saturday night.
Yes, well, you say that there's 10 trials, but there's also a pair of qualifying races at the start of the night, and the winner of each of those qualifying races earns a start in one of the 10 trials. There's also the diaper dash, diaper dash for the young'uns, the up and comers who perhaps are not old enough to compete with the rest of them. Plus, of course, the actual showdown, the final. So, mate, you can throw out 10 if you want to, but the accurate number would be 14. Rest assured, I've counted them, and there'll be 14.
Here is the tentative schedule for the Wiener Nationals. You see our 6 p.m. local time will be our first horse race, and then we'll begin with the qualifiers right around the second race, after the second race. A couple of qualifiers, and the Doxy Diaper Dash, and then we'll begin trials after that. You can look at the schedule. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 races in total, Michael.
Plus the final,
Yes, and you got to count the horse races. This is like a whole weekend of double duties for you.
Yeah, I know. all crammed into one shift. So it'll be fast and furious. I'll be maybe needing to just wet the whistle with you at Burghart's afterwards.
Yes, it should be fun. A fun night of racing, as we always look forward to this night for the benefit the Seal Beach Animal Care Center. Of course, hopefully a lot of new fans join us as well on track. So that's going to be the Wiener Nationals. Come and join us this Saturday at Los Alamitos, in addition to our 8-race program. All right, so I previewed that during the segment with Christopher Wade that both of you guys landed with with a different selection and the same race. We're both going to race number 8. I think the favorite is Vulnerable, the 9-5 morning night favorite, Apolitical Open MRL, and I'm kind of encouraged by the fact that both Chris and yourself have a different selection other than the 5 in this spot.
Yeah, well, the favorite certainly deserves a long look. Finished 4th when heavily supported in an Edberg Million Futurity trial, but hasn't run since. Goes as a first-time gelding, and I think the odds too much. And you mentioned that Chris and I both have a pick in the same race. That has happened a handful of times since we've done the preview show, but I'll guarantee you that it has never transpired that we have picked a horse for the same owner and the same trainer. And that is the case here with my pick, number 6, No Can Tell, and Chris's fancy, number 7, Better One, both owned by Ed Allred and trained by Scott Willoughby.
Now, what did you think? This was the weekend I saw for a quinceañera in Las Vegas. So on June 24th, I was not on track. I did watch the replay. The glare kind of prevented us from getting a clear picture, but you, with your eyesight from up there, I thought this horse probably was much the best and should have won that June 24th effort.
I agree. The horse should have won had the rail gate was bumped and then had his hind quarters bumped. And he also had his hind quarters bumped on debut, by the way.
Yeah.
So he had trouble at the start from gate number 1 here on June 24, but recovered really impressively, finished strongly, galloped out impressively. He lost by only a nose.
And I remember, wasn't the winner of this race, the photo, was the eventual like short price favorite dropping from a retreat trial, if I remember correctly?
To be honest, I don't really remember exactly what the form line was for Teleperi MRL, but I will tell you that the horse appears in the form line of Chris's horse's debut.
Yeah.
When Better One went at 220 maiden back in late April and finished third, Teleperi MRL happened to finish second. And here we are looking at this horse's race, No Can Tell, from late June, and he's a nose behind Teleperi MRL. That's just a coincidence.
And he actually did go off as the 4-5 betting favorite. The 6 horse did. And you can see right there where the one No Can Tell got bumped at the start and bumped again soon after that. And it was a tough beat given the trouble and given the margin of defeat here at the finish line.
Yeah, and the gallop out was very good. And I mentioned earlier that his hindquarters were bumped at the start of his debut. This horse has run 3 times. His debut in early May, he broke inwards, had his hindquarters bumped, and he was finishing strongly for a close 4th. And the race in between his second start on the 4th of June, he was completely wiped out. He was just eliminated at the start. It was a small field, but he just got taken out of business completely. So forget about start number 2. Basically, the horse hasn't really had a fair crack at them yet. And I like this wide-ish draw. First time in his career that he's been drawn in the outside half of the field. And let's see if No Can Tell can do the job for us at 5-2. Jesus Ayala will ride for the first time. Jonathan Roman's been aboard each of these Allred Willoughby horses for their races so far, and he's on Better One, number 7. One other thing I'll say is that in No Can Tell's final gate work before he debuted, well, he did everything splendidly on that occasion, clocking 12.3. So that was an encouraging gate work, and I just hope that he gets a fair shot this week.
Yeah, he's shown ability in the mornings, and he hasn't had his fair trip just yet. So there's upside for a runner like the 6, and that's why I think the 5 is vulnerable, because I think the 6 deserves a look. I think the 7 deserves a look, and I also like the looks of the first time starter at Favorito, the 3 horse, who I think went in 12.50 and wasn't really asked for everything in that morning work. So I'm with you. I'm gonna try to beat the morning line favorite, Apolitical Open tomorrow.
Yeah, I tell you what, a couple of these horses coming in from Turf Paradise have acquitted themselves well too. The rail horses first start at Los Alamitos for Heraclio Borteo Jr. Mm-hmm. But even though the horses had a local work, I just have to try to risk against the horse gate 1 first start at Los Al. But a couple of them have bobbed up with some nice performances.
Yeah, it feels like some of these, even last week, I think we saw quite a few of them work well and actually run well. I feel like they usually need one race over the track to really then fire a big performance next time out.
Yeah, and the first time starter, El Favorito, certainly looks to have some ability based on the works also.
Yeah, I like that 12:50 workout back on May 6th that I watched at LosAnios.com. It wasn't a flashy time per se, but I like the way he put away his 2 workmates. He was on the outside of a 3-team set, and he kind of put him away, and it felt like he could have gone a little bit faster. So I think there's some upside for the first-time starter, El Favorito, who's 8-1. all I know that I think the 5 is vulnerable. So if you can beat the 5, I think it'll be a good scenario for any kind of a horizontal wager. Of course, this being the final race of the evening.
Yeah, it's a good race to wrap up the card for sure. I think contention runs quite deep. I'm not bristling with confidence with my pick this week, but I think that No Cantel has a very decent shot at fair odds.
And by the time we get to post time to this race, you will already have called the 2023 Winter National Champion before this race, about 5 minutes before this race.
Indeed. So my head will be spinning, and hopefully I can still see straight.
Yes, it should be fun. It should be fun. So come and join us here at Los Alamitos next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday at Los Al. Again, our first horse race around 6 p.m. And then shortly after that, we'll begin with the Winter Nationals races throughout the night, all the way through the end of the program. Well, I got to give a big salute to you for your 3 weeks of double headers. Good job, mate, making it through. And giving us some nice calls both daytime and nighttime.
Yeah, it's been fun, and it won't be that long until the September meet is upon us. The way time's flying by. A couple more weeks of daytime action are just around the corner. But in the meantime, we love the Saturday night and Sunday night action, and it's really getting spiced up this Saturday night with the Wieners.
Now, so that's definitely the way I'm looking forward to. Is expect a good crowd and lots of fun at the track. All right, Michael, have a good rest of your Thursday afternoon. I'll talk to you this weekend at Los Alamitos.
Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best. Wiener dog racing fans, the Wienerschnitzel Wiener Nationals are back at Los Alamitos Racecourse Saturday night, July 15th. It'll be a showcase of the fastest dachshunds in the world. They love to run, and they love to make new friends and have fun. Who will be the fastest winner in the West? We can't wait to find out. Join us for this great night of family fun. Admission for kids 17 and under is free. The Wienerschnitzel Wiener Nationals at Los Alamitos Racecourse, Saturday night, July 15th.
All right, let's talk about a few horses that I'm going to key on for Saturday night's 8-race program. We'll talk about a couple of horses. First, actually, we're going to talk about the first half of the card and also the latter half. So both pick fours, I have a key highlight horses that I'm going to zero in on. First, let's talk about race number 4, which is the closing leg of the early pick 4 at Los Alamitos, one of the best bets in all of night racing. The Los Alamitos $1 early pick 4. We're in a good roll here with the lock of the night, and race number 4 is where I'm going to zero in on my lock of the night, and it's going to be Night Party. Night Party draws the outside post here for Chuck Crease. Second time off the claim. You get Eric Garcia here up aboard. Now, Eric did write this one back in September of 2022 over the daytime when trained by Hector Palma. So he has some experience with this filly. Previously, she was trained by Craig Delassie. Craig Delassie has been having good seasons, a good couple of years here at Los Al at nighttime when bringing in horses from the daytime circuit. So this fourth event, it is for the thoroughbreds, 4.5, claiming tag of 4,000, fillies and mares, 3 and up. And Night Party just faced the daytime competition last time out. It was a tough spot. She was 14-1. She tried to stay close in the early stages, but that was too tough of a distance and too tough of a level for her. So she's back at 4.5. And let's take a look at that replay back from June 11th, where she was heavily bet. She was bet down to the favorite in this field of 5. And they took the blinkers off this night. She had the outside post. She had gate number 3. She broke fairly well. Blinkers were off. She was hustled to the lead here under the guidance of Eduardo Rojas Fernandez. You can see she does get pressured actually from both sides. The outside runner was the 13-1 shot, and the inside runner here was trying to press her and kind of keep her honest. But she always maintained a pretty good lead there. And this is, to my opinion, where a lot of these races are won heading into the turn, because you either cut the corner well and you're able to take over that inside path like Night Party did, or you kind of get shuffled back just a bit and have to make a little bit of a late move. So I like the acceleration by Night Party this night. I like that she shook off the challenge from both inside and outside, and she had plenty left to hold up the late bid of Queen Verrazano, who rallied on the outside. Now, the clocking was solid for the level, 51 and change, 51.65 to be exact. Opening quarter, 21.65. Now, if she just repeats this effort, I think it's good enough to win. But what I think really makes her, makes me even like her more in this spot is that she draws the outside post. So even if a runner like, let's say, Tony's Babe decides to break sharply and get to the lead, I would have no problem, and I would imagine there'll be no problem if Night Party decides to just chase and press too wide on the outside and set a good trip that way. But I think she's quick enough that if she breaks sharply, Eric Garcia will have no problem to be able to hustle her and cross over and take control of the race. So Night Party in race number 4, the 6 horse, will be my lock of the night. Let's talk about the long shot play of the night. And it is in the same event where Chris and Michael both had an opinion in race number 8. Now, Chris likes the 7, better one. Michael likes the 6, no can tell. I like the 3, El Favorito, the first-time starter. We kind of already seen what every one of these runners could do. Well, actually, they're still lightly raced, so they're still plenty outside. But at least we already saw what each and every one of these runners has done in one outing at least. So I'm going to focus on the first-time starter, El Favorito. I think there's some upside here. Alan Farias trainee for owner and breeder Ramon Esquives. And let's take a look at the workout from back on May 6th. This is a workout that I'm going to bring here on the screen. And here it is, May 6th. So it was the first of 2 published workouts. He's the gelding. He was on the outside of a 3-team set. And, he broke fairly well here on the outside. He broke better than the inside too. And watch how the rider's very confident here. Just a couple of shakes of the reins, and he does it willingly, pulling away by about 2 lengths. And the rider was not really set down for everything in that spot. So I like that he broke well. I like that he pulled away from the workmates on their very light hand, right? And he kept a fairly straight path as well, which is very key for a first-time starter. Shows some maturity, shows some professionalism. So I like the workout by El Favorito. And I think he's in a live spot in this race because there's not any super sharp gate speed horses in this spot. He's listed at 8-1. The dam wasn't raced. This is our first starter, so nothing really to go by off of there. But visually, I like what I saw in that workout because you can see none of these horses are broken on top. So I think there's upside. I think there's an interesting spot to try to take a first time starter. So I'm going to zero in on El Favorito at 8-1 as my long shot play of the night in race number 8. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for joining us, watching this Los Alamitos weekend preview for this week's weekend races on Saturday night at Los Alamitos. Again, come and join us on Wiener Nationals. Saturday night, horse races begin at 6 p.m. We'll have 8 horse races, and in between, we'll have plenty of dachshunds there joining us for the Wiener Nationals. We'll be trying to show you as much as we can as far as the Wiener Nationals throughout the night. While during our FanDuel TV broadcast, I'll be on set there this weekend alongside Caleb Keller. We'll be bringing you as much of the action as we can throughout the evening. If you want to watch live without missing a beat, you can go to losalamitos.com and click the live racing video option. You have the live stream straight from Los Alamitos in-house signal, so you'll be able to watch all the races, all the horse races, all the dachshunds there without any kind of break. You'll be able to watch it there live from the comfort of your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. And of course, you want to watch some of the more fun that we'll be having on set. Tune in to watch FanDuel TV. Yours truly will be on set there alongside Caleb Keller, providing you the broadcast from this weekend's races at Los Alamitos. Thank you to Michael Wrona, Chris Wade, Professor G, for sending us that information and that video previewing some of the dachshunds that'll be in action this weekend at the Wiener Nationals. Hope to see you this weekend at Los Al. Have a good night.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best. Wiener dog racing fans, the Wienerschnitzel Wiener Nationals are back at Los Alamitos Racecourse Saturday night, July 15th. It'll be a showcase of the fastest dachshunds in the world. They love to run, and they love to make new friends and have fun. Who will be the fastest winner in the West? We can't wait to find out. Join us for this great night of family fun. Admission for kids 17 and under is free. The Wienerschnitzel Wiener Nationals at Los Alamitos Racecourse, Saturday night, July 15th.
Wins the Charger Bar. Favourite Colossus in a photo finish. Favourite Colossus.